Local programming on KRWG Public Media made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Scott Percato with KRWG Public Media, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of KRWG Music Spotlight. Taylor Paul is a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, and engineer. On his website, he says that he writes a lot about life, loss, love, and the spaces in between. We are pleased to welcome Taylor Paul to KRWG Music Spotlight.
Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, tell me how you got into music. How old were you?
I was exposed to music from a very young age. Both my parents are musical. My mother played piano, and my father is a bass player and a singer and played in a variety of bands.
Nice.
From 3 or 4 years old, I was exposed to live music and was really taken aback by it. And there's some old photos of me pretending on stage to play along with my dad's band. So I definitely was interested in it very early on. And it wasn't until I was probably 12 or 13 that I really decided I wanted to try and get a guitar and really learn for myself.
And are you self-taught? Did I hear that, or did your dad teach you?
He taught me some of the basics, and then some musicians that he played with kind of passed a couple of things on to me, but primarily self-taught. And then when my other friends started playing music, we kind of started learning bits and pieces off of each other. And so, yeah.
But they've been very supportive, your parents, I guess, being musicians themselves.
Yeah, they've always been very supportive and really, really enjoyed coming to watch me play and stuff. So it's really cool.
Well, what about artists? What artists influenced you as you were growing up?
I love all kinds of music. I think the first thing that grabbed me was electric blues guitar playing. I have a memory of my dad showing me Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan. And like a lot of other guitar players, I really was taken by that and really wanted to figure out what they were doing and try to understand that.
And when you did pick up a guitar in your early teens, did you find it easy?
No, not at all.
No.
The first few years it's a real uphill battle, and it's hard to not get discouraged starting out, for sure.
And what else do you play besides guitar? Do you have a little bit of bass?
A little bit of bass, a little bit of keyboards, a little bit of ukulele, but mostly just guitar and bass.
Well, let's turn to your songwriting. What kind of themes do you find yourself approaching when you sit down to write a song?
I started out as just a guitar player for many years before I got into songwriting, and so it took me a little while to find my footing as a lyricist and a vocalist. And so my first several songs were, I was just kind of going for a more poppy sound and trying to find, things that are easy on the ears and fun hooks and stuff. But I write now a lot about mortality and about life and things like that. When I was 23, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and I spent a lot of 2019 in the hospital and in various institutions. And so fortunately, I had music in my life as a pretty invaluable source of therapy and way of just processing feelings and emotions, and that really helped me work through it. So I've tried to move past that in more recent work, but that's always an element of my sound.
Well, let's let you get to your music. Talk about the first song that we're going to hear, Learn to Love. What inspired that?
Yeah, so I wrote that song in 2019, and it was kind of a reaction to gun violence in schools and just a lot of social unrest that was happening at the time. And I was just, you just kind of get beaten down reading the news each day about those kind of things. And so I was just like, I wanted to write something that's like, why can't we all just get along?
Learn to Love.
That's right.
All right. Well, let you get to it. Taylor Paul, our musical guest today on KRWG Music Spotlight.
Can we learn to love? Can we hope to see all the broken-hearted people finally find peace? I don't want to believe it's just meant to be. Can our voices rise above to make history? the saddest thing. And 10 little lives lost their fight today, and we can't let their loss be in vain. If we ever want this world to change, can we learn to love? Can we hope to see all the broken-hearted people finally find peace? I don't want to believe it's just meant to be. Can our voices rise above to make history? And waking up is the hardest part. How do we move on when others won't even start? And holding on to what we think we need sends us back down a road I can't even see. Can we learn to love? Can we hope to see all the broken-hearted people finally find peace? I don't want to believe it's just meant to be. Can our voices rise above to make history? Can we? To shake this empty feeling, something I can't really make peace with. I'm hoping for someone to come get things right when they can't even get it themselves. And I can see that you're scared, and I know that time isn't always on your side. We can go farther, and I know if we try, I know that we're gonna survive. Can we learn to love? Can we hope to see all the broken-hearted people finally find peace? I don't wanna believe it's just meant to be. Can our voices rise above to make history? Can our voices rise above to make history? Can our voices rise above to make history?
How's it going, guys? This is Taylor Paul, and this is Rain in the Windowsill.
At the end of the day, I'm still not tired, and my mind is always running wild. She sits me down so gently and makes me feel like I am at ease. And yes, you can see that it's true. I'll never let the light fade on you, and I'll always be there to sit and watch the rain in the windowsill with you. They say no man is an island. I get so wrapped up in what has been. We gotta stick together if we're gonna beat this weather and see the sunshine in our lives again. And yes, you can see that it's true. I'll never let the light fade on you, and I'll always be there to sit and watch the rain in the windowsill with you.
Hey guys, hope you're doing good. My name is Taylor Paul, and this next song is called Don't Give Up on You.
was young, I learned to walk by the river and the trees, they talk. You gotta keep your feet on the ground. Don't let them push you down. I trip and I fall as I go through this life. It's easy to feel like giving up. Am I getting old, or is this road just going cold? Can I still see the sunrise? And don't you know that time is short and the sun doesn't shine forever? But I'll be there when you fall down. I know there's more to do, so don't give up on you. And here I am, almost 30 years old, and I still haven't learned a thing. Tomorrow never knows, and I hope the cancer don't grow. I just wanna feel at ease. And don't you know that our time is short and the sun doesn't shine forever? But I'll be there when you fall down. I know there's more to do, so don't give up on you.
Hey, this is Taylor Paul, and this song is called 25.
I'm 25 and I'm barely alive. Is there something left for me? I'm 25 and barely alive. Is there something left for me? All this time I've waited for my moment to shine. Oh Lord, won't you take these tears from me? They fix this thing in my head, but they can't fix my heart. They fix this thing in my head, but they can't fix my heart. All this time I've wondered, does the pain ever leave? Oh Lord, I don't have much left to give. I see her in everything that I try to do. I see her in everything that I try to do. Maybe one of these days I won't feel so lonely. Oh Lord, won't you give me some peace? I'm 25 and I'm barely alive. Is there something left for me? I'm 25 and barely alive. Is there something left for me? All this time I've waited for my moment to shine. Oh Lord, won't you take these tears from me?
Thank you guys again so much. This next song is called Fairy Tale.
When I'm feeling cold, I know I'm not too old to feel the love I always wanted. If I feel like giving up, I can't, I gotta stay tough to try to turn it all around. And now I'm starting to see the forest for all its trees. And I was down when you found me out, and in the end the fairy tale came true. And in the end the fairy tale was you. When I was feeling down, this sweetheart came around. When I was feeling lost, we found each other. We carved out our own way and made our own history, and let all our worries just fade away. And now I'm starting to see the forest for all its trees. And I was down when you found me out, and in the end the fairy tale came true. And in the end the fairy tale was you. It's hard to see you go, and it's hard to lose control. We had our fun, just let it be. I know I'm growing old, and I know it's time to go, but I know we're gonna be okay. And now I'm starting to see the forest for all its trees. And I was down when you found me out, and in the end the fairy tale came true. And in the end the fairy tale was you.
It's KRWG Music Spotlight. My guest is Taylor Paul. Well, let's talk about the last song you just sang, Fairy Tale. What was that? What was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of my attempt at a love song, you know, about just kind of ups and downs in life, and trying to find someone that you can really connect with, and someone that can really help you be the best version of yourself.
Well, do you have a general process in songwriting? Lyrics first, music first, or do you just leave yourself open to the musical gods? Whatever
Well,
comes
I think
to you?
we're all kind of to that, but
Yeah.
I know that everybody's different, and I think that's really interesting. For me, a lot of the time, I get the idea of the title of the song, or a line in the chorus first, and then I try and think about, well, what would that sound like? Putting music to that sound, what would that sound like? And then from there, I start to arrange the song, come up with the chord progressions, and then after I've kind of got the song arranged and I know what the title of the song is, then I kind of have to reverse engineer and figure out, well, what is this about?
Well, you have a metal side.
I do.
You have a little side thing, tailored, right?
Yes.
So talk about that.
Yeah, so in high school, my friends, they all wanted to play heavy metal music, so I kind of got pulled into that world a little bit, and I was able to find music in that space that I really connected with, particularly progressive metal music, which is not always 10 out of 10 aggressive rock all the time. There's a lot of variation, there's a lot of ethereal textures to the sound and a lot of clean singing in there as well. So while I don't do vocals over that kind of music, I was always really inspired by it. And so that was kind of when I learned how to compose and how to write songs, was kind of with a metal backdrop. And so I was in a band.
Are you conscious about, like, going back to songwriting process, if a song comes to you, a title, like, oh, this would be good for Taylor, or this would be good for Taylor, meet you?
Yeah, they're very different worlds,
Yeah.
and I'm usually playing it on different guitars and utilizing different equipment, so it's pretty easy for me to decide which way it's going to go.
Well, earlier you mentioned that you were diagnosed with testicular cancer in 2019. You were 23?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at with that right now?
I'm doing really well. Most of 2019 was kind of a blur for me, and then it's interesting coming out of that right into COVID, into the pandemic. So that made for an interesting couple of years of my life for sure. But aside from a couple things here and there, I've been in really good shape the last few years. So I've been very thankful for
Well,
that.
how did that diagnosis and the treatments that you received since, how did that influence your songwriting at all, your outlook?
Absolutely. That's kind of seems like a thing that happens to other people and is not ever anything until
Right.
it hits so close to home, let alone yourself. So it really took a long time to process and come to grips with what was happening. But your 20s, most people,
You definitely don't expect it then.
you feel that's when you're supposed to be feeling invincible and
Right.
like you want to take on the world and do whatever you want to do, and to have everything shut down like that, it put a really different spin on what this is all about, and what do I want to be doing in my life and what's important to me. And
Right. Well, what about new music? Do you have any new music out now or coming out?
So I put out a couple of singles this year. I put out Don't Give Up on You, and then I recently put out Rain in the Windowsill. Those are Taylor Paul singles that you can find on my YouTube and stuff. And but I'm working on another record, and I hope to have that out hopefully at the tail end of this year, if not the top of next year.
All right, well, we have about a minute left. What advice would you give to a young musician who's just starting out and they want to do it professionally?
I knew you were going to ask this question, so
I do it every
I was trying
time.
to think about it.
Yeah.
I think a lot about this Berkeley talk that John Mayer gave several years ago. It's like a 6-part series that's on YouTube, and he really talks about the importance of defining your expectations. So there's a lot that you can do in the space of music, and I think it's important to identify what you want to do and then kind of adjust what you're doing to make sure you meet those goals, whether it's be a fantastic bass player or be a songwriter. Do you want to travel? Do you want to go on the road? Do you want to be in a variety band and do that thing? So there's a lot of spaces that you can occupy in music. So that's something that I think about a lot and still grapple with sometimes. Yeah.
All right. Well, Taylor Paul, it's been a pleasure to have you as a guest.
Yeah, thank you so much, Scott.
KRWG Music Spotlight. Thank you. And be sure to catch our past performances on YouTube and like us on Facebook to keep up with future episodes. For KRWG, I'm Scott Mercado, and thank you for joining us for KRWG Music Spotlight.